All right, this is going to be a backpack loadout review. We are getting ready to do a 11-day trip into the Grand Canyon. I drive up to Las Vegas tomorrow to hook up with Johnny, and then we'll drive to the Grand Canyon, spend the night, and hit the trail first thing Monday morning. As I said, it's going to be a 10-night, 11-day trip. It's going to involve 2 floats of the Colorado River and weather. Looks like we're going to have some rain and snow and cold temps, and it's, I think, going to throw everything at us. So I thought I'd share with you the gear that I'm going to bring on this trip. It's was hard getting everything in. Start off, I am using the Z-Packs Arcall 60-liter Ultra 100. Thing I like about this is it's lightweight and waterproof. So it was a challenge getting everything into it. I normally backpack with an Osprey Exos 58, and that 58 has more space than the 60-liter Z-Packs. However, I like the weight of this, so we're going to give it a try. I was able to get all the gear in it. I added a few extra items to it. These water carriers from Justin I got on eBay. I like having water right here, and I'll carry the smart bottles. One will have electrolytes in it, and the other is just straight up water. So that's that addition. Then I also added a couple pockets down below to give me more carrying space. And in these pockets, one, I've got my DOP kit and some snacks. And in my DOP kit, typical things: toothbrush, toothpaste, Aleve, soap for doing my laundry. And then another item I really like to bring with me is Aquaphor. Aquaphor is great for windburns, dry lips. I typically, when I get blisters, they're heat blisters from friction, and so I'll rub some of the Aquaphor on my feet. Sometimes when you're hiking a lot, the back of your shoe will irritate your Achilles tendon. Aquaphor has multiple uses. Great stuff. In the other pocket, I carry my hat, and I used to carry gloves, but I found that my fingers were getting cold, and I would make a fist inside the glove to try and keep my hands warm. So I just got these new fleece mittens from Outdoor Research. We'll see how those go, but gotta have those handy. So that's in the other pocket. And then on top, this is my packraft by Supby Adventures. I think it's the Matt Cat. I love this thing. It can handle, I think, class 1, class 2, and then little telescopic paddle, combined less than 3 pounds. So those are awesome tools to have to float the Colorado River. In this back pouch, I carry a Dyneema bear bag. I'll put my food in this at night. I like to bring a bucket. A bucket has many uses. Do laundry in it, in the Colorado River, scoop it up and let it sit for a couple hours, and all the sediment will work its way to the bottom, and then filter the water that way. Also, a lot of times you get to camp late, you go down by the river and it's shady and cold, and so I'll fill this up and find a sunny spot, and then I'll wash down my body. So I love having a bucket. Seeing that we're going to the Grand Canyon, we may have to lift up our packs or lower our packs down, so I've got some paracord and a carabiner. First aid kit, knee brace, bandages. I also carry 2 coffee filters, again, allow me the capability of filtering really dirty water, like in the Colorado with all the silt, before putting it into my water filter. That's my first aid kit. From the canyon going down, the first 1,000 feet to 1,500 feet, there's going to be snow, some ice, and so I've got some Catula micro spikes that I'm bringing as well. And then at night, I love to get out of my hiking shoes and put on some other shoes. So I love Birkenstocks. I wear them all the time, and these are their plastic or rubber Birkenstocks. I wear size 13. These are only 9 ounces combined. And another thing I like about them is they really grip the rock well, so I don't slip at all, and they're just great to have around camp. So that's in the back pouch. On the sides, my tent stakes, and I'll go into the tent more when I pull that out, but I put my stakes in the side. We're going to dry camp a couple nights, and so I needed the ability to carry more water. So I love these 2-liter Platypus water carriers. So I carry that along with, this is my water filtration system. It's the Katadyn Be-Free 1 liter. So all in total, I can carry 5 liters of water. So that should get me through. What else we got? In the other pocket, I've got I think it's the GSI mug. And then inside that, I have the stove part of my jet boil. So I carry that in the side pouch. And then on the bottom, I love a bigger pad. So I carried both an inflatable sleeping pad, but I carry, this is my sit pad, my yoga pad. This is the pad, like if it's been raining, it's wet, I put all my gear right on top of that. Probably the most critical thing I use this for is typically when people get cold sleeping at night, it's the R factor of the inflatable isn't high enough, or if it is high enough, like mine's the Thermarest Neo Air, I think the R rating is 4.2. I'll put this underneath that. It just gives me more insulation, and I never get cold. The other thing I love about this is sometimes you're not always flat ground, and so I can use it as a wedge to, either support my butt to make more flatter, or if it's on the side angle, it'll flatten it out that way. So I like to use it as a wedge. Very useful tool. I think it's worth the extra couple ounces. So that is everything on the outside. Let's see what is on the inside. I've got a Hyperlight Dyneema bag that's waterproof, and inside this I carry a lot of my clothing items. Puffy jacket. I'm a big fan of vests, and this is a Marmot windstopper type fabric. It keeps my core warm. If I get cold, I just put on my mitts, my hat, and this, and that works for me. I don't get too hot, and I love having a vest. For rain gear, I've got the Outdoor Research, I think it's Perlex Diamond Fused jacket. It's like 6 ounces. It works great. And then additionally, I bought the little mitts, the waterproof mitts. They fit over my fleece mitts. Windproof, waterproof. This keeps me warm and dry. So that is that. A couple other things. I've got an extra pair of socks to hike in, and then these are my in-camp socks, wool socks. I wear them with my Birkenstocks. Typically I go to bed, I still have these on, but within 10 minutes I'm taking them off because I'm getting too hot. So those are all my extra clothing items. I'm a big fan of this Jet Boil Stash. I used to use a Snow Peaks that was really lightweight, but my buddy John and Greg had the Stash, and their water was boiling so freaking fast, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and so I finally got it. The thing I also love about this is that you can use one of the small canisters, and I get between 22 and 24 1-cup boils. Great addition. I love this Jet Boil. Titanium spoon, and then I found these from another YouTube videoer, Big Sky International cooking pouch for a single pack. I love the fact that it keeps things warmer, and then while the food is cooking, I'll tuck this into my puffy right on my chest if it's cold out, and keeps me warm. This is another nice tool to have. Some food. I've got, again, 11 days worth of food. So I kind of broken up so I can fit it in here a little bit better. There's 2 pouches. Here's the third big pouch. Got to have your toilet paper and trowel. and some wipes that should hopefully last me all 11 days. This is all my electronic gear, my headlamp, my 10,000 milliamp battery pack. Yeah, so that's all my electronic stuff. I love this Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. It's the regular wide version, 25-inch wide, I believe, at the shoulders. It's so much more comfortable than a 20-inch. And then I used to use that bag that they had to assist in inflating it. And just for like an ounce more, this thing here is a luxury item. A little pump, it fills this up in like 2 minutes. You can do it, put this inside your tent. You don't have to worry about the wind blowing it around. You don't have to be laying in your tent trying to blow it. It saves your lung capacity. Another useful little item to have. And then this trip I'm going to bring my Marmot tungsten ultralight one person. I love a freestanding tent. I love a double wall tent. I'm bringing this instead of my Z-Packs Plex Solo for a variety of reasons. The Plex Solo, if you want to go lightweight, it's phenomenal. It's a great tent. But this trip we're going to have weather. Likelihood we're going to be eating multiple meals inside the tent. This is more spacious. Because it's a double wall, it keeps you warmer. I love the fact that it also has a vent at the top, so even less chance of getting condensation inside. And the vestibule, the vestibules in this tent are bigger, so it just seems more spacious. And this is a silk poly versus a silk nylon, and the difference is the silk poly doesn't absorb water, doesn't stretch. It is a little bit heavier, but it works for me. I love it. It's a great tent. Also, the fact that it's a fully freestanding tent, it fits in the smallest of areas, and it's really easy to set up just with the fly. So if it's raining, I can just set it up with the fly first, and then put the insides of the tent, assemble that underneath the protection of the fly and not get wet. Lastly, in the bottom here, I've got my sleep system, and I keep it in a Hyperlite Dyneema bag. Again, just to make sure that my sleeping gear doesn't get wet. And in here, I've got the UGQ quilt. I used to love my Big Agnes Lost Ranger 20-degree sleeping bag, but I would get cold spots, and I couldn't figure out why I was chilly at night, even though I'm sweating in my feet. I had cold spots. My buddy John said, try a quilt, and so I tried his, and I thought, man, this is pretty nice. I love UGQ because I was able to have an additional ounce, I think, of down to the foot box, and then a little neck protector to add some more warmth around the neck. I'm a huge fan of quilts. This works great for me. For my pillow, I love having a pillow, so I've got the Dyneema inflatable pillow with a strap that fits around my sleeping pad, and this is a net gaiter that I'll put over that to just, it's a little softer to the ear. And then if I really want to glam it up, I will take I'll take the sleeves of my down jacket and I'll put it inside the neck gaiter, and it's like sleeping on a down pillow. It's awesome. Sleeping is the most important thing to me when I backpack. If you have a great night's sleep, I can endure any bit of grind I experience throughout the day, knowing that that the tent keeps me dry and safe, and my sleeping gear keeps me warm and comfortable. So, what else do I have? Oh yeah, I don't like sleeping in pants or, in this case, long underwear. The only reason I'm bringing long underwear on this trip is at night while we're around camp, it's going to get cold and I want to make sure my legs stay warm. But when I jump in my sleeping bag, I'll take those off. I like to sleep in bamboo shorts and a t-shirt, natural fibers. It's just more comfortable to the body. And that is everything. Oh, one last thing. In addition to the quilt, I like to use a silk liner for a variety of reasons. One, it adds a little additional warmth, and two, it just feels good against the skin, and it protects the quilt from any body oils. And it's just so much easier after a trip to throw this in the washer and clean it up. And it's a little bit of a hassle getting into it, but once you're in, man, it's comfortable, and I sleep like a baby. So that is my gear for the Grand Canyon. Let's hope that things go well and you guys get a video on that trip within the next couple months. Cheers.